Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Jake from TodaysiPhone.com and here's your TIP Daily for February 25th, 2013. Okay, now to start off, Mobile World Congress is currently going on in Spain and there are a ton of really cool hardware things going on, but there are also some interesting software developments happening that are worth talking about. Most notably Shazam, the music tagging application that's been around the iPhone since the App Store launched. Announced that it had recently reached the 300 million customer milestone, which is huge. And the company also announced that it is releasing a new version of Shazam for the iPad and for Android tablets. It's going to include a bunch of really cool things, including a map to see where you tagged your songs, super quick, like 1 second song tagging, and a couple other things that will hopefully make this application pretty awesome. Okay, moving on to jailbreak news. Apple has patched one of the exploits that makes the evasion jailbreak work in the beta of iOS 6.1.3, which means that if you have a jailbroken device, you definitely shouldn't update to the beta, and you definitely shouldn't update when iOS 6.1.3 comes out for the rest of us. It's kind of unfortunate that Apple patched this exploit this soon, because although it's only one of a bunch that evasion uses to hack our devices, if that one exploit is patched, then the entire evasion jailbreak doesn't work. According to the developers behind the jailbreak, they still have a couple exploits or bugs in iOS under wraps that they can use to jailbreak a device, but they're not sure how to proceed, because if Apple patches the rest of the exploits in the current evasion jailbreak, then the developers would have to start from scratch, which is possible, but at the same time, if they do start from scratch, then they risk revealing all of these exploits to Apple much earlier than they have to, which could eventually jeopardize things like an iOS 7 jailbreak. It's a pretty complicated situation, and it's super annoying that at this late in the game, Apple is still resisting so hard against the jailbreaking community. I say annoying, it's certainly not surprising. It's always been Apple's policy, and it's always going to be Apple's policy, but it's a bummer. So just keep an eye out for news if you have a jailbroken device or if you're thinking about jailbreaking. Definitely don't update to iOS 6.1.3 until you hear something new from the evasion jailbreak team. Okay, and finally we have another round of reported leaked iPad 5 cases that show a significant redesign of Apple's 9.7-inch tablet to mirror a lot of the design cues that we first saw in the iPad mini, namely the smaller bezel around the screen, the flatter back, a different sort of alignment for the speakers at the bottom, and the lightning connector. Now, keep in mind that leak cases are always one of the least reliable leaks in my opinion, just because it doesn't take anything other than a know-how of how to make a case to have a leaked case. You know, people can make cases and accessories for devices that don't and may never exist, so definitely take this with a grain of salt. That being said, I feel like that what these leaked cases are suggesting, even if they themselves aren't legit, seem pretty logical to me. I think that it does make sense for Apple to adopt the iPad mini design for the 5th generation full-size iPad. Unfortunately, only time can tell. Okay, well that's all the big news for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your question of the day today is, are you guys getting tired of this constant battle between the developers of jailbreaks and the developers of iOS? You know, is it tiring? Is it worrisome to have to jailbreak your device and install all these tweaks but then not update, and, you know, keep an eye out for the news and make sure you're not going to do something that could jeopardize your jailbreak? In a perfect world, Apple wouldn't give a crap what you do with your device once you buy it, or at least give us some more customization options in iOS so people wouldn't want to jailbreak so much. I don't see that happening anytime soon, so I just want to know how you guys are feeling about the whole landscape of the jailbreak community at this time. You can let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter at TIP_Jake. Please don't forget the links to everything I talked about in this video in the description down below, so definitely check those out. And as always, for more news, views, and reviews, don't forget to check out TodaysiPhone.com.